Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing okay. So some takeaways from the day. Macro-wise, we are still in this pretty long-dated channel. Again, we talked about this on the video over the weekend that, again, just because it looks like it's going to buzz higher doesn't mean so until it does. And again, we're just trapped into this interval. So a lot of the day today, and again, it kind of goes back to the last year and a half that we've been hearing about, well, China will get done, China is not going to get done. China will get done, China's not going to get done. And so last week, everybody was optimistic, right? The tone from the White House was everything's optimistic. The market's going to be reacting positively to it, and a trade deal with China will get done. This morning or over the long weekend, you saw, well, maybe the deal is not going to get done anytime soon. And again, it's so already to the point that it's hard to even talk about it. I just wish they just stopped talking about it every single time somebody passes gas or has a bowel movement. Just either get it done or not get it done. The individual highlights from people tweeting and the ECB and this one, that is just absolutely incredible. But again, that's the reality where we're in. The positive takes that I did see from today, when the Dow was going down 350, 330 points, what I noticed today, there was a lot of strength, right? If you look at, and again, there was a lot of weakness as well, but if you look at some of the names that have been really, really strong, okay, the stocks that have been participating more towards upward bias than downward bias, you can still see the strong stocks have legs. So what does that mean? Okay, when you look at a stock like PDD, again, it shows you it still has legs despite the weakness in the tape today. When you look at Roku, okay, and this is again, I see so many people that are unfortunately going to have a premature bloodbath with this Roku trying to short it because again, there's every single high beta name or high flying name ends the same way, right? Gravity usually does pull it down. The way we play it is not trying to pick a spot where it's going to base out or it's going to top out. We wait for that confirmation. So the only way this stock is going to go down and start seeing a back test is exactly the same thing that Shop did, right? A blow off top, okay? If you look at a Roku on a blow off top, it's 63 and change, or a close below the 5-day moving average. If you guys remember our trade, our short on Shop, right? On Shop, it had exactly the same things what I just mentioned. It had a blow off top on the Bollinger Band, right? And it had the first close below the 5, right? And once it confirmed, right? Here, you guys remember 390, 390, and it finally confirmed. And I took $12.5, $13 out of my lowest cover on Shop. So again, before anybody starts trying to figure out where, you don't need to figure it out. Just follow the top of supply or wait for the first close below the 5-day moving average, and it should play out. Until then, people are guessing, and unfortunately, a lot of traders are going to be on the wrong side of this trade, and only to see it work out 2-3 months later, even 2-3 weeks later, even 2-3 days later. Again, it's all about confirmation, not guessing. What I did like, what I saw about today, again, first thing, I liked how there was a lot of strength as the market was coming in. Second thing that I really, really liked, and we finally started to see that, we started talking about how when people started coming back from vacation, we were going to see a lot more liquidity and a lot tighter ranges. We saw that today. Okay, we saw really, really strong volume today, and the spreads were tighter for most of the day on Amazon. Big volume, just a big volume anywhere. You see a lot of liquidity return, at least of the stocks that I was watching. Okay, and that it's kind of leading me to believe that as we are getting throughout the week, you're going to get more and more players returning, only adding more liquidity, only making the spreads tighter. So that was good. The one thing that I didn't like about what I personally did today, I found myself on 4 trades. Right, I put on 4 trades. I made a little bit of money today. It's nothing to do with the money. What I noticed about today was every pivot that I was putting on, the first initial move was like like 40 cents, 30 cents. Like I traded Roku, that first move on this after the second entry was only like 30, 35 cents. I did a Square remount, only went up like 15, 20 cents. The initial move on, was it Chewy? What the hell was I into? Not Chewy. AMBA. That gave initial move only like 30 cents or so before, finally exploding. So that's the part I kind of didn't like. Maybe I'm kind of overthinking it. I always like to play devil's advocate, and I always like to kind of rethink my trades. Always the worst case scenario, to try to figure out what went wrong. And the more I kind of think about it, it was probably the idea that the market was still very, very weak. But the ones that did confirm that had that second entry were very, very strong. So let's talk about today, right? Let's talk about today. Macro-wise, again, the Qs need to do something. They need to either come out of this top of the channel on this 189.70, 190 level, or close below the 50-day moving average of roughly 382, 381, 181, 182 for breakdown. Until then, again, we're not going to see these magnificent $15, $20 moves on stocks because, again, most of the names will mirror what the Qs are looking like. Again, can you trade for cash flow $1, 50 cents, 75 cents, 30 cents, 40? Absolutely. But again, until we come out of this channel, guys, use the bounce plays, right? Reclaim on the bounces, rejection names, reclaim second entries on all these trades. And the most important thing is keep on scalping, right? Keep on scalping. Again, do we want trades like we had last week with Tesla, with Netflix, with Shop? Absolutely. Who doesn't want a $5 move, a $3 move, a $12 move, right? But again, when you see areas of interest like this, right, and most stocks are going to reflect that area of interest, you have to adapt. So let's talk about today's pivots. Boy, oh boy, did I mess up ULTA. Let me just take a second to rethink the stupidity. I know a lot of you guys did very, very well in this trade. I wasn't one of them. So what I did was I bought the opening range instead of waiting for this second entry. I bought the opening range. So I bought it at 235, and it goes to, if you guys remember, I put it right here. Watch this morning, we're at the green washout, dead cat bounce, potentially blah, 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 blah. It needs a build 35, 50, 36, right? So what happened? I buy the 35 opening range, and it goes to like 35.90. And I didn't even have a chance to react. If you guys remember how thin it was trading, it spread me down like $2, $3, okay? $2, $3. So by the time it got back to 235, because that was the bottom of the range, when I got back to 235 and gave me an olive branch and it failed that level, I just sold it, okay? I think I netted out maybe losing like 70 cents on the trade, right? So whatever it was, 70, 80 cents on the trade. I was fine with it, right? I was completely fine with it. The problem was thinking about the trade, I got a little bit, I don't want to use the word FOMO, but I got a little over anxious, okay? I got a little over anxious and I didn't wait for the second entry, okay? I just didn't wait for that second entry. And what happened on the second entry? If you would have taken on the second entry of ULTA, like a lot of people did in the live webinar, this is what happened on the second entry. So I'm showing you through a 5-minute chart. So if you guys saw, the first move was right here, 35.90. You see that? The second move on the second entry went all the way to 244. I know a lot of you guys did very well in this trade. I mistraded it. Again, am I a human being? Absolutely. And it's going to happen to everybody. But for all you guys to take a good job there. Con only put up a 30-cent move, 35-cent move. PDD never got down there, but very, very strong. We'll talk about that in a second. AMBA, I traded on the second entry, went from 57 actually to 58. I got long at 58. My highest sale was up like 60 cents or so, which was fine. BYND never confirmed. Chewy was actually nice. Chewy was nice from that 33.30 area off the daily chart. Right, 33.30 went almost to the Bollinger Band here at 34.12. Again, considering how strong the market, how weak the market was actually a pretty decent move. Square never confirmed 64. Went up to like 60. Went up to like 60. What was it? Like 63.90s. It never built 64. And the last one was, 34 on deck. I really like this Netflix for tomorrow. 89.75 actually went down to like 88 and change. You can see here, 89.75 on Netflix. That was the pre-market low. It was right over here. Went down to like 88.20s. I like Netflix for tomorrow. Okay, and I think going into tomorrow, I think again you have to be very, very open. Okay, on both sides of the market. This morning we saw a lot of strength despite weakness. Okay, weakness in the indexes. But most important part, right? The most important part is again at any given time, any tweet, any headline from the White House, from the ECB, from the Fed, anywhere, right, can really throw a curveball into your trading. So you have to be very, very careful and kind of play with the landscape that's being given instead of kind of forecasting what you want to see. So going into tomorrow, again, literally 50-50. We could go up 300 points tomorrow. Again, that's how random the market is. So going into tomorrow, I got some longs. Okay, I definitely have some longs. I have some shorts, and let's talk about them now, right? Let's talk about them now.
Congratulations for putting in the time to take control of your trading. You're one step closer to owning your future and achieving the success you desire. Want daily trade ideas directly from Dan, straight off his personal watch list? Unlock our free PS60 Vault, where you'll get nightly updates on pivot opportunities we're watching for the next day's session. Click the link in the description to get started today.